Boruto episode 60. Now, this episode is going to be headlined by a main fight, and we all know this fight is Shinki versus Mitsuki, the fight that we've all been waiting for, arguably the top two getting in the class for this year. This fight, I feel like, is going to be extremely amazing, and it might not even be over in this episode specifically. This fight might even span into episode 61, which a lot of people do expect and a lot of people do hope for. Episode 61's title, by the way, is Iron Sand user Shinki. So it's looking like they're going to be building up Shinki's character all throughout the next episode and also the episode after that, which is a very good thing because a lot of people do have a lot of interest in the character of Shinki. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read over the spoilers for episode 60 and I'm going to basically talk about it. Then I'll probably go over the preview at the last 30 seconds of the last episode of Boruto. So I'll pretty much do that. Going over the spoilers real quick, episode 60, the title is obviously The Hidden Leaf versus The Hidden Sand. Going into the paragraph, it says the tournament has come to a grand finale. The match between Sada versus Araya of the Hidden Sand has begun. Sada assaults relentlessly with her specialty of shuriken attacks and Sharingan. However, Araya is able to dodge those attacks without even moving and forces Sada into a corner. In the match between Mitsuki and Shinki, two of them have conserved their energy in preparation for an epic showdown between them. Now, the spoilers get you extremely hyped for what's about to go down. Obviously, Sada, as of right now, she is in peak condition. We all know what she did in the first round. She basically destroyed her opponent in 3 seconds. Obviously, that tells you that Sada is basically prepared for anything that this Araya guy can throw at her. Now, we did see Araya fight before. We've seen Araya fight Inojin, and that fight was largely a mystery. A lot of people kind of slandering Inojin because a lot of his attacks didn't work. The Beast Scroll Jutsu was basically rendered useless in that fight. Now, to me, that told me that Araya was going to be extremely overpowered in the fact that we don't know what his abilities are yet. He could possibly nullify a lot of jutsus. He could possibly nullify a lot of attacks. Now, in this paragraph right here, it says that this Araya guy basically tanked a lot of the shurikens. He dodged all of them. He was basically able to avoid a lot of stuff. And obviously, this is basically going on with the trend with the Inojin thing. Inojin hit this guy with multiple paper bombs, and he looked like he was just unaffected. And of course, if Sada isn't able to attack this guy, if Sada isn't able to see through this guy's jutsu or see through this guy's abilities with her Sharingan, that means that this Araya guy is supposed to be extremely powerful and could probably even rival a character like Mitsuki without his Sage Mode. So I'm going to say to you guys, again, I kind of said this in my last episode review about episode 59 or 58. I said, hey, Inojin, he's a good fighter, but this Araya guy seems to be extremely overpowered. You cannot just slight Inojin because he lost to a great fighter. Now, this paragraph also spoke about Mitsuki and Shinki, and it's kind of got me excited. And it was mainly the fact that they said that Mitsuki and Shinki was basically conserving their energy throughout the whole training exam for this one fight. Now, of course, this one fight is probably going to be the last fight between both of them. And obviously, I feel like those two are probably going to go all out because they've been conserving their energy for so long. And it's going to be a great one. A lot of people have been speculating about this fight for a long time. I remember early in the year, I kind of made a video and I spoke about this a little bit in that, and I also made another video about it, or I made a video and I spoke about it again like a couple months ago, and it really gets everybody excited to see the two top tier Genin go off and show down in this next episode. Now, real quick, I'm going to go over the preview that we did see at the end of episode 59. Of course, the preview does let us know a little bit more of what Araya can do, and also it gives us some insight about the Mitsuki fight. Now, the preview starts off, Sada and Araya basically walking towards each other. The narrator says, be extra careful around that Araya guy. It says, surprise attacks don't even phase him. Genjutsu doesn't even work. Is he really human? So this is basically telling you guys, like, hey, Sada is having a tough time against this guy. Her Genjutsu isn't working. Her surprise attacks isn't working. A lot of her stuff that usually works on other opponents isn't working on this surprise guy named Araya. Now, I feel like this Araya guy, as I said before, is going to be extremely overpowered. One thing I do have to say now, it's going to be like a little bit of the theory, is the fact that I feel like the mask is a big part of him evading or tanking a lot of the other people's attacks against him. It could be something with his facial expression. It could be something that happens underneath the mask. I'm not completely sure, but I feel like the mask has something to do with it, and the mask is probably the source of his abilities and why he's able to evade so much attacks from the other people. But the Genjutsu thing, I have no idea about that, because a lot of Genin as of right now, they don't necessarily know how to deal with Genjutsu. They don't. It's just not in their blood. So this guy Araya supposedly has the ability to evade the Genjutsu. He has the ability to not be completely affected by it. I kind of put up a poll on YouTube and I asked you guys who would win between Boruto and Sada, and everybody said, or a lot of people said that, you know, it doesn't matter who the person is, if the other person has a Sharingan, they're basically going to lose. And I kind of contested that argument. I said, no, that's not completely true. Like, for example, if Sada right now were to fight Hashirama, like, she wouldn't win. But the thing is, it looked like two people at the same power level, which would be Sada and Araya. It looked like that could have been true. A person with a Sharingan and a person with the ability to have a Genjutsu would automatically win versus a person who doesn't necessarily know how to understand or control or counteract a Genjutsu user. But this Araya guy, you know, he's basically taking all that philosophy. He's saying, hey, I know what to do. I know how to handle it. Now, in the next frame, we basically got to see Shinki and Mitsuki. Now, Mitsuki looks really beat up. Mitsuki looks like he's having a real tough go at it. Shinki's going to be extremely strong, and because Mitsuki can't go into Sage mode, because Mitsuki can't fight to his fullest ability, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be very difficult for Mitsuki to go at it, especially because, you know, he can't go all out. Now, of course, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that Mitsuki's going to lose. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that Shinki's going to win. It does guarantee that Mitsuki's going to have a hard time, and it does guarantee that Shinki's probably going to have the upper hand for the start of the fight, mainly because Mitsuki never really faced an opponent this powerful as Shinki. Obviously, he faced an opponent like Shizuma back in the past. I feel like because Shizuma had the blade of Samehada, Mitsuki did have a rough go at it because it drained a lot of his chakra. But a character as strong as Shinki that doesn't necessarily need an overpowered blade like Samehada, a character like that could still keep up with Mitsuki at his base form, it's something that Mitsuki hasn't really seen before. It's something that Mitsuki hasn't really fought against before. And I feel like this is going to be a very good point where Mitsuki does develop a lot of character, where Mitsuki does understand, like, hey, there are other characters out there that could possibly rival me at my base form. I feel like this fight is probably going to be one of the most epic fights that we did see in Boruto so far. I feel like this fight, when this arc is all finished and done with, this fight is probably going to be the second best fight that we did see, and only second to the Momoshiki and Kinshiki and Urushiki versus Sasuke and the 5 Kage. Let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. As I said, I'm really excited for it. I really cannot wait for this. This is pretty much like the climax of the whole thing, and there's a possibility that we might see Momoshiki attack in probably episode 61 or 62, because that'll probably be the end of the tuning exam. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. But it's been your boy, B, and we out.